PowerModz. I'm Louis Skibo. FirstPlaceParts.com just sent us these V-Force 3 high-performance reeds to install in the old 800 REV here. So I'm going to put these in today. I had the motor out, so the reeds are currently out of the sled. So I'm going to install these, and it's quite simple. To remove them, just follow the reverse process of the installation. Let's get to it. If you're running your stock sled and it has the original reeds in it, you got to really watch these carburetor boots. When you look at these, it's an impregnated rubber with an inner steel bracket that's in behind here that keep it pretty tough. But what happens over time, they start to break down, the rubber starts to separate from the metal. There's a small leak that starts, then you start to lean out a cylinder, then it gets scored, then it gets too lean, and then it gets worse, and then you end up having to replace a piston and possibly resurfacing your cylinder. So you really want to keep a good eye on your reeds, and especially these carb boots. This kit comes with everything you're going to need to install your new reeds. It's got new bolts, your reeds, your boots, and your gaskets. First thing you're going to want to do is slip your gasket over top of your reed. This is the mating surface that goes onto your cylinder. And just take it and slip it into place. You'll also want to make sure that there's no corrosion or any old gasket material left on this surface of the cylinder here where the reed goes in. Just place your gasket over top of the reed. Gently slip it into place. Make sure your gasket is lined up properly. It's a little tight, a little dark in there, but we can get it. Next, we use the supplied bolts. Make sure your mating surface is nice and clean. And start to install. Now you just use your stock ring clamp. And then you reinstall your carburetor. Now if you find that you're having a hard time installing the carbs onto these boots, you can always lube them up a little bit, just with a little bit of soap and water, just a tiny little bit, and they should slide on really easily. Everybody loves my big long screwdriver. Comes in handy from my aviation days, as most of you know. It allows you to get in here and tighten this right up, no problem. It's good for the carburetor adjustments on the old Aeronca Chief. My first airplane way back when. Now this video more or less started from the installation process and back to the completion where everything's put back together. So like I said earlier, to disassemble everything, just watch the video and you'll see how to start from the back end and work your way into the reeds here. I just have to rehook my carb heat line. Just install the airbox. Now if you find that your carburetors are angled down a little bit too much and it's just hard to get the seal around here, get it to fit in, all you can do is just take a little something, pry up on the carbs just slightly, and it'll just fit right on here. You want to make sure that those are on quite well, because if you don't, you're going to have excess airflow. You don't want that. All you guys who want to take your air box off and put these filters on, it's not necessarily a good idea because you're messing with the airflow. These are designed to work with these air boxes. There we go. This just goes up to your intake on your little door here. A lot of you ask me what kind of performance gains we're going to get out of these reeds. Well, it's really tough to say depending on the type of motor and what the Skidoo manufacturer or the snowmobile manufacturer is actually installing in their sleds. Sometimes they use their own reeds, and other times they use the aftermarket reeds from Boyson or from V-Force. So if you have V-Force stock reeds in your sled, chances are very good that you might not just get any gains. If you don't, and it's a poor quality reed, you might see some gains, a couple of horsepower, perhaps, maybe a little bit more, but it's really hard to say unless you put it on the dyno and check it out. What I do suggest you do is go onto my videos, check the interview with Greg Balchin of Jaws Performance, and he details and gives a lot of explanations on what works and what doesn't work when you want to modify your sled with a can or with these types of reeds. I got to tell you, when you want to buy these, give firstplaceparts.com a call. Tell them Louis from PowerModz sent you. Check us both out on Facebook and YouTube. Make sure you keep coming back because we have a lot more work to do on this sled. We're going to trick this out with a high flow intake. It's all kinds of cool stuff. So thanks for watching PowerModz. I'm Louis Skibo.